Chapter 5, Dream of the Red Chamber 4. Nan Hoa and Lin Ruhai returned home together. The two of them had been together for 3 years, and Ruhai could tell at a glance that she was not in a good mood. 3 years later, it was so hard to see your mother and family, why aren't you happy? Did something happen? Nan Hoa is not like Jia Min, although she is depressed at her maternal home, she does not want her husband to know, trying to maintain her maternal home's dignity. In her eyes, Lin Ruhai is the only relative she can consider right now. Before getting married, my second sister-in-law and I were already a bit awkward. She always felt that I was biased towards my eldest sister-in-law, and looked down on her in front of my parents. Not to mention that I couldn't talk behind people's backs, she also didn't look at what she had done, and whether she could compare to my eldest sister-in-law. My eldest sister-in-law took care of everything for the family, and my second sister-in-law compared her family's gains and losses every day. If I really treated her equally, then that would be looking down on me. I also feel sorry for my conscience. Nan Hoa also had no opinion on Jia Min's way of doing things that day. One put the big picture first, handling the Ronggua mansion neatly and orderly, the other calculated the gains and losses in her own house every day. If she had the same attitude towards the pros and cons of both people, then it would be unfair to Lucia's sacrifice. Moreover, in terms of sincerity towards her, Lucia was just like a real sister. When I got married, my mother accidentally revealed the amount of money she gave me to bring. Later, it was secretly spread that my father and mother valued their daughters more than their sons. In the future, the second master's assets might not even be able to surpass my dowry. Now that Joni was born, she was already proud and smug, as if she was finally suppressing me. It was both sad and laughable. Lin Ruhai's eyes widened in shock. Although he felt that his wife's family was currently in a state of chaos without a duke, he himself was also like this and did not look down on them. Although his eldest uncle was a debauched playboy and his second brother-in-law was old-fashioned and looked like a proper person, they were not such petty people who quarreled with each other. Getting along with them was actually very easy. He did not think that there would be so many problems in the family. Lin Ruhai, without brothers or sisters, was stunned as if a new world door had been opened. Nan Hoa saw his terrified appearance and burst out laughing. Seeing her smile, Ruhai let out a sigh of relief and ignored those bad things. Wansher seemed to be stabbing a knife at the couple. While his heart ached, he was especially worried about Min Ni. Nan Hoa was in a good mood, she didn't care if others teased her, moreover, she knew that she would still have sons and daughters in the future. However, Lin Ruhai still kept it in mind, and after 3 years of filial piety, the sky darkened, and without looking at the letter, he quickly pulled her into the room. After 3 years of testing, Nan Hoa also approved of him, looking at him like a teenager, just smiling secretly. Dayu's previous life's incident caused Nan Hoa to completely cold-heartedly treat the Jia family. After returning home, she immediately focused on cleaning up the Lin family's property and handling the Lin mansion, never to return again. In the blink of an eye, mid-year festival arrived, and wormwood incense was everywhere in the capital. In order to arrange gifts for the festival, Nan Hoa was busy for nearly half a month. Today, all the gifts were sent out to be distributed. Finally, she could have a good rest. The nanny sent to Ronggua mansion early in the morning returned. I sends greetings to the old lady, she is all well, but she misses you, she said. If you finish the work in the mansion, go see her, at least remember that she always misses you. The gifts from the 2 elder brothers are all given by this servant one by one and greet them. The eldest lady seems to be a bit frail, the last time she coughed, it seems she hasn't gotten better yet, she still has to worry about the whole family. There are quite a few people coming and going to report. Young master who is now also at the age of playing around, this servant went out and heard the maid hurriedly come to report, saying that she couldn't find the young master again. The second lady over there is actually just right, just happened to bump into the Jinling Shui family who also came to deliver a gift during the holiday. No wonder the Shui family is so rich, all the objects are inlaid with gold. The second lady is extremely happy. That nanny was Nan Hoa, who deliberately chose to go to Ronggua mansion, describing everything she saw and heard there, from big to small matters. Nan Hoa also did not care about the second sister-in-law's side. After all, she did not like the things the Lin family sent. She also did not know that in this capital, there were not many families who gave gold or silver during the mid-year festival. What worried her was the eldest sister-in-law Lu. Her health was not good, and the family's career was big. According to the nanny's description, she was afraid that the eldest sister-in-law was too busy, and Huni's side also had some flaws, and in her memory, Huni's accident had indeed been less than half a month since mid-year festival. As a mother, Lucia was naturally ashamed and blamed herself for losing her eldest son because of her own carelessness. Jiao Min, who had given birth prematurely that day, was very familiar with this feeling. In the evening, Lin Ruhai returned from the government office, and Nan Hoa said she wanted to invite Huni to stay at their house for a short time. Huni has also passed the mourning period. The little child loves to play. The eldest sister-in-law's health is too difficult to manage. Why don't we take him in for a while? While you're at home you can also teach him some lessons. Since Minnie has already arranged things for this husband can only obey. Lin Ruhai joked with her. In fact, he was also happy that Huni came to accompany Nan Hoa, otherwise she would be too lonely at home alone. This is also for you to practice, no need to wait until it's your turn, don't know where to start teaching, want to count from this, actually it's still you who gets the advantage. Yes, my wife is far-sighted, so that I don't forget my teaching experience too soon, should we quickly? Nan Hoa patted the hand that was secretly reaching closer, silently rubbing her waist. If you agree, Huni's room will also be renovated, you first read your documents, I will be back soon. Lin Ruhai aggrievedly held her hand again. I've finished reading the documents, your husband should still help you fix them together. It's also good to end a little early and rest. Nan Hoa saw through his thoughts, but did not chase him away. Recently, whenever Lin Ruhai came home, he liked to stick to her, but to be honest, she was used to being together every day. Now that they did not see each other for a whole day, she was also a bit uncomfortable. Behind the maids and the old maids were secretly laughing. The master and his wife's relationship was better than 3 years ago. Huni grew up healthy and strong. His appearance and personality, if you look closely, are actually similar to Lu Shi. Lu Shi's gentle on the outside but strong on the inside. Huni was spoiled when he was young, he didn't even have the gentleness on the outside. Following Nan Hoa to Lin Mansion, along the way he kept talking non-stop, talking until everyone in the house was laughing so hard they couldn't breathe. However, he didn't find himself funny, he had a "you adults are so childish" expression. This age is the most mischievous time for children. Nan Hoa did not suppress his nature and brought him to play in the garden. However, she made 3 rules beforehand: no matter what he wanted to play with, he could not destroy things or beat or scold the maids. This was a matter of morality. When his uncle returned in the evening, he had to study, so he had to finish all his homework on time. Nan Hoa looked at him from the pavilion, only to see him pulling a few maids to arrange troops, pretending to be the great general of the country. You go here, she fights there, playing very happily. Although the whole thing was childish, Nan Hoa discovered that his language communication and logical thinking were not bad. Not once did he express any unclear situation in a logical way. The maids understood as soon as they heard it. Lu Shi also taught Huni the basics, but later on, the family's upheavals continued, so she stopped. That night, Lin Ruhai started teaching him the first basic book. Unexpectedly, Huni still remembered quite a bit, and he was also considered a little man who kept his word. During the day, he rolled around in the mud, but when he went to school, he really calmed down and studied seriously with a serious face. Except for that naive logical questions that made Lin Ruhai laugh and cry. At night, while lying in bed, Lin Ruhai let out a heavy sigh. Children really think of things I can't imagine. As a teacher, I'm about to be asked questions that are hard to answer. When I was young, whatever the teacher said was what it meant. How could I dare ask, why do you want to lie on the ice to play carp? Isn't it better to break the ice directly? If I asked, I would definitely be lectured by the teacher. Nan Hoa could not help but laugh. Days passed like this. Day by day, the Lin family's business in Nan Hoa's hands grew stronger by another round. She had never stopped doing good deeds in Gusu. Being an official and doing good deeds for her hometown was a very normal thing. It would not attract attention, so she almost took Gusu's good deeds to the limit. The Lin family's life was warm and good, and Huni survived life and death in the Lin family. Lucia was relieved that her eldest son was at her sister-in-law's house, and sent her second son to Jia's mother to be temporarily cared for. She did not do anything, and while taking care of her illness, she slowly recovered. Later, she directly told Huni to accept Lin Ruhai as her teacher. It's just that for several years, Nan Hoa showed no signs of pregnancy. The wives and children of the officials gathered, and Nan Hoa gradually received all kinds of attention. Some of the people who were at odds with the Lin and Jia families, the women who saw her seemed to have a sense of superiority, and the sarcastic words they used became more and more. Until one day, Lin Ruhai for the third time refused to borrow power from the second prince, son of imperial concubine Zhen, and insisted on his neutrality principle. He angered the other party, and the other party scolded him behind his back, don't know how to distinguish between good and bad, lying in the hands of a woman, sterile. Moreover, very quickly, someone promoted the news and it spread to the streets. All the conflicts were picked up outside, even the Jia family was implicated. Hidden rumors said that the Jia family's daughter ruined her husband's family's descendants. This was a situation where no one knew that Lin Ruhai had always only had Nan Hoa alone. Not even 2 days later, Ronghua family sent someone to invite Nan Hoa to visit Jia's mother, saying that Jia's mother was missing her and her eldest grandson who also studied at Lin Mansion.